So if you take a look around the class, everybody looks different, obviously. We each have our own way of expressing who we are by the way we may dress, the way we might talk, and the way we look. So you can all agree that we're trying in one way or another to be different. But the true way of being different is not by how you look. It's about your mental state. Which leads me into my quote. If you want to be different, if you want to stand out, don't be different, be outstanding. And I'm going to illustrate this concept in two ways. First is society's way of how to be different, and my personal interpretation is how to really be different by being outstanding. So the first one I want to get into is how society tells you to be different and how we follow that. The main way people try to be different is by how they dress. But the fact is that many people don't even know who they really are in the first place. They may act like they do by following a certain culture or a certain style, but the main thing that they have disregarded is themselves. Who am I? How do I relate to other people? How can I converse with other people? Am I really different, or am I the same mentally as everybody else? And I see this a lot because, as we all know, you may see someone, oh wow, they look different, like, check him out, he has an awesome style. She has an awesome style, they look good. But if you go up to them and try to have a conversation with them, it's like they're brain dead. And I've experienced this before because I've gotten over how I look. Once you come to terms and you accept yourself for who you are, physical appearances no longer matter. It's about how you can relate to another human being. And a lot of people are not at a level where they can relate to you and actually look you in the eye and have a good conversation with you about true, valuable things in life. So after that first point, I want to move into my second point, which is how to really be outstanding. As you all know, many people try to be different. But the true way to be different is by being outstanding. Outstanding isn't physically, outstanding is mentally. Outstanding is your thoughts that are above and powerful and accepting of others. You're not focused on, oh, what am I going to wear today? What am I going to wear tomorrow? How do I look? I'm insecure. That's not how you be different. You be different by reading books, watching things that inform you on things that you're interested in, expressing your strengths, getting over your weaknesses, but mainly becoming your true self. Your true self is the most powerful version of yourself. Think of like a Pokemon. You start off as an egg, you evolve. You're Charmander, you're Charmeleon, but then you become Charizard. You're powerful. That's your biggest form. That's what I want all of you to be. I don't want you to be stuck in the egg thinking that you're different than everybody. I want you to be the most powerful version of yourself. And this is a class that can help you with that because it comes to grips with how you can express your true self. In conclusion, I know that a lot of us are still confined to society's conditioning, and it's kind of hard to get over. But once you snap out of it and realize, this is who I am, I accept that, and I want others to know that, that's when you can really start to become outstanding. Thank you. graphic Charizard.
Other ones.
All right, well, I think you start off pretty well with a point of view that's a little bit ironic. You transition to the quote clearly, not necessarily smoothly, but it's pretty clear. There's a preview of what the supporting points are going to be. Those supporting points are a little esoteric, and so I think you needed to either have a smoother sentence for each of them or a way to simplify them. Once you start talking about the 2 points, you've got some good ideas here. They're interesting and you express them in pretty effective ways. I do think you struggle a little bit to get some detail to make it interesting, and we end up with some platitude sorts of things. Everybody's kidding about the Pokemon thing for a second, but the truth is that's the most concrete example that you had in your presentation, and I thought that it worked pretty well. I think you need some more of those kinds of concrete examples that people can relate to. Otherwise, we're kind of visualizing this image in your head, this ambiguous example that you have, which we may or may not be able to relate to. It's so much better if you've got a particular that you can talk about. People can relate well to the particulars. The delivery issue, for the most part, everything's pretty good. Your voice projects well. You've got good variety in the voice. Sometimes the pacing seems a little bit awkward. There's nothing wrong with it, and I'm not jumping up and down. I mean, I'd give you good scores and all that kind of stuff, but it does seem sometimes like it's a little unnatural. It's a little bit more like you're lecturing at us rather than just talking to us. And I think you need to be a little bit more naturalistic. What you did wasn't problematic, but it doesn't feel as comfortable as I think it might be. And one of the things you want to do is you want to be comfortable with the audience, and you want the audience to be comfortable with you. Let's see. The one thing that I could point out that is a little bit problematic about the presentation is you got nervous feet. You can't settle. You are moving constantly while you're speaking, and I think you need to be a little bit more assertive. Take a spot, use it for a minute or two when you're talking about one idea, and then make your movements more purposeful. As it just seemed like that's where the energy's coming. It wasn't caged tiger kind of pacing, so you weren't doing that, but it didn't seem like it was purposeful. It just seemed like it was meandering a little bit.
Okay.
All right, thank you.